to get quality people, you have to give a quality pay. I'm not doing it for pay. I'm doing it, I mean, the pay is wonderful and it's a great thing, but I'm doing it because I want to serve the people of the town of Yorktown. I do feel that to get quality employees, such as if you have a newspaper, let's say, and you want to get a quality reporter, you want to pay that reporter a good salary so that you get the accurate news and the accurate portrayal of what's going on out in the community. And I think that will draw more people to want to be involved with their community rather than not.
I agree with you that our department heads, we should pay an appropriate wage because we need quality, and sometimes you have to pay more to get good quality. And on the department head level, Yorktown, I think, has been very short-sighted. So there, I'm in total agreement with you. I question there's a big difference between a professional department head, head of the planning department, head of the water department, head of the building department, and a town board member. At $18,000, we're not in it certainly
For the money. No.
Okay, so whether it's $14,000 or $19,000, it really doesn't make a difference. Many years ago, I met somebody who said, "I'm running for the town board," and I said, "That's interesting. Why?" He says, "I need the money."
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's not the case. And in addition to the $18,000, board members also get their medical benefits paid for themselves and their families. And for some people, let's say a self-employed person, that is a tremendous benefit. Yorktown pays, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but we pay, town employees and elected officials pay 25%, which is high for municipalities. But if you're paying 100% of whatever the premiums are for a family, which could be $16,000 to $20,000, that's hefty. So if you're only paying 25, you're saving a lot of money. So that's an incentive. But I think what's outrageous, totally outrageous, is the way the current town board went about doing the pay raises. Basically, in the dark.
Yeah, I mean, you're jumping a little bit ahead of my follow-up questions, which were these raises, I guess. At first, it was assumed they were going into effect immediately, but now the supervisor says they will be discussed during budget season, and that was only a directive of the comptroller. So I guess tying it into the CSEA contract will also be discussed during budget season, and do you believe that is an appropriate way for the town board to handle its own raises?
Definitely not. No, because that becomes automatic, and the town board negotiates the CSEA contract, and it negotiates it in closed session, so we have no idea what they're giving. And in effect, you're negotiating for yourself, so I think that is absolutely wrong. Yes, it should be it was in 2012, in that budget season, for the 2013 budget season, that in the very closing days, there was a proposal to give raises to both department heads and to the town and to the elected officials. It was done at the last minute, very little time for discussion, but at least it was done and it was announced as part of the budget session. And that's the way it should be. The way it was done this time, first I was told, well, yes, we voted and we voted separately, and then suddenly, a week later, after there was a big uproar and confusion, then the supervisor comes back and says, "Oh, we didn't really vote for raises. It was just misinformation." That was a bunch of nonsense.
Tom?
The raising, there is no mechanism in place for the board to give raises for itself. Okay, there is no higher authority to say, okay, what is the board worth? So the board has to give itself raises. Now, what probably should be done is that it's put into the budget for that particular year, and then move forward. If they want to mirror the CSEA, then it should be okay. If the CSEA is giving 1%, then possibly the board should get 1%. But there is no one to give the board raises.
I have to correct you there on town law, because there is a mechanism, and it says if the board wants to give itself raises, then as part of the budget, they put that into the budget, and there is a public hearing and discussion. So there is a mechanism. What the town board did back roughly a month ago was try to give themselves raises by resolution, which was totally illegal. Virtually nobody was there to hear what they were doing, because I won't go into all of the details. Brian is very aware of the details. Totally 99.9% in the dark and illegal, because they needed to have it publicly aired. So there is a mechanism. And just because department heads or staff need a raise, I don't think that automatically means, I'm not saying we shouldn't reward our people. Town board members put in an inordinate amount of time, into this, okay? But I don't think it's a quid pro quo. You get 1%, I get 1%.
If the mechanism, as you say, to your point, is there as per town law.
Mhm.
But there is no mechanism for anybody else to give them their raises. The town board has to give itself
absolutely,
raises, okay? And that's what I said. The town board has to give itself raises, it just didn't give itself the raise in the last budget. They realized that they had to put it into the next 2015 budget, and they went along, and this was discussed, from what I understand, with all the town board members, that they would put it into the next budget so that it would be passed.
It wasn't the resolutions, and it wasn't the resolutions, Tom.
Okay.
It
So-
was the cover-up.